Welcome to the Gritcast, where we get into the nitty-gritty of all things hockey. From the East to the West Coast. Here are your hosts, Matt Pierce, Nikosh Ganguly, and Darius Dominguez.
Welcome back, folks of all ages, to episode number 11 of, number 12 of the Gritcast. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone in America, I guess. Seems pretty important over there. Lots of football going on today. No hockey going on today. I don't know if any basketball's happening today. I think it's all NFL
it's all NFL.
Yeah. So that was Thanksgiving was way more fun in America. Am I wrong to say that?
I think they do it right. Not gonna lie. It's like
right?
a month before Christmas, you know? So
yeah, it's too close to Christmas.
I think it's, I don't know, man. I think it's good.
I think Thanksgiving actually feels like a holiday there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We also do it on a Monday. They do it like before the weekend, so you're kind of like rolling into the weekend. I think they do it right. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. And
it's more like a party, like Christmas is coming up in a month. Like I think it's a better feel.
It's like the appetizer. It's like the appetizer.
Yeah. Like you eat turkey, you watch football, and then the next day you blow your money on Christmas gifts or stuff for yourself.
Exactly. I think they do it perfectly. I think you're right, Darius. They do a good job. And I think a lot of people get mad because, not a lot of people get mad. People are like, oh, you can't have Thanksgiving after Halloween. I'm like, bro, Halloween's low-key falling off. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Halloween's low-key falling off.
I think that comes with age, though, too.
Yeah. But I also just feel like even, around, my neighborhood, there's way less, kids going out and trick-or-treating now. I also think maybe it's people are realizing it's more of, a safety issue to do that stuff. So, I don't know.
Go door to door asking for stuff.
And also COVID we didn't have Halloween for 2 years. That's also a big thing. With people just not feeling it anymore. Honestly, just go to Walmart, buy your kid that $20 party pack, and then you're chilling. You're chilling. You don't really need to worry about it. And that way you don't have to get any Tootsie Rolls, which is awesome.
Yes. Or Rockets. Those suck. Just saying.
Or Smarties. Smarties are like the chocolate Rockets.
Whoa.
Listen, Smarties are not the lowest on the ranking, okay? But in terms of that that box, the 100 pack.
Okay, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it's what is that? The Kit Kat Aero Coffee Crisp Smarties box.
But the thing is, the only time you would have it is in that box, because why else would you buy it?
I don't mind Smarties. I don't mind Smarties.
See, the elite bag is Snickers, Twix, Mars, and M&M's. That's the elite bag. That's the one you got to get.
Unfortunately, you're wrong, but it's fine. It's fine. But I do want to actually get into the minutia that's happened over the past week or so. But we are going to start this on more of a somber note. Unfortunately, today, Leafs legend, Leafs icon, European hockey icon, one of the best to ever do it, Börje Salming, passed away earlier today. A statement from Brendan Shanahan said, "The police mourn the loss of Börje Salming. Börje was a pioneer of the game, an icon with an unbreakable spirit and an unquestioned toughness. He helped open the door for Europeans in the NHL and defined himself through his play on the ice and through his contributions to the community. Börje joined the Maple Leafs 50 years ago and will forever be a part of our hockey family. We send our deepest condolences to his wife, Pia, his children, Teresa, Anders, Rasmus, Bianca, Lisa, Sarah, and brother Steve." So, honestly, so sad. I watched that video earlier that happened 2 weeks ago, the ceremonies. Dude, it's so sad, man. And I didn't expect, I knew, I think most people knew his time was relatively limited when his announcement of ALS came out. I just, I did not expect him to unfortunately pass away like this. But I'm honestly, it does make me feel good that he did get to come back to Toronto for one night just before and really feel the atmosphere and I think the admiration people in the city have for him here. Obviously, everyone in this call is way, 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 way too young to remember him playing, but I think this past 2 weeks has made me really realize what a pioneer, as Shanahan said in the statement, he really was for hockey. So rest in peace to him. And I don't know if you guys have anything else to say on this subject, but yeah, just rest in peace.
Yeah. Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. Like you said 2 weeks ago, the whole ceremonies, it just kind of goes to show how quickly ALS can turn things around in the span of a couple weeks. He was looking, pretty good because his announcement was in what, July.
June or
He
July.
had the whole ceremony twice before one of the Pittsburgh game and then one before the Vancouver game. It's just nice to see him get that final farewell, even though we didn't know at the time, but got the final farewell from the Scotiabank Arena crowd.
Yeah, I think like you guys put it, like having the reception he got, just the fact that he was able to say goodbye. Like it almost felt like we knew he had ALS. ALS is very unforgiving, and it almost felt like the goodbye. Like it was nice that he was able to have that with the fans able to have that with him. And yeah, he was a pioneer. I don't think people like our age realize what he did or had to go through too. Because he was like targeted on the ice back when the Flyers were the Flyers. He was, a huge target. So he was tough and he was the best. I think he is still the best defenseman the Leafs have ever had to this point. Like most definitely.
Oh, for sure. Or none.
Yeah, for sure. And I think besides like Gilmore personally, probably my favorite like pre-birth Leaf, I guess, if that makes sense. Like before I was born, besides Gilmore, probably Salming. Just the way he played like on those classic games that I used to play on Leafs TV and stuff, you could just tell he was that good. And it's just it's really sad. ALS is very unforgiving, and to see him go, like, I think it's shocking. Like when was that ceremony? Was like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, like 2 Saturdays ago.
Yeah, and it's it's awful. It's awful, very sad, but at least we got to celebrate his life and his achievements. So
yeah, for sure. So that being said, rest in peace, Börje. Rest in peace, King, as is trending on Twitter. So, I think you'll see a lot of tributes, especially on Legends Row in front of Scotiabank Arena. Lots of flowers and stuff. So, yeah, rest in peace. Leafs great. One of the best to ever do it, and I think sparked a generation of new like growing the game in the NHL. So, yeah, rest in peace to a great. But it's always impossible to segue out of a topic like this. But we do have to get into the Leafs game from last night. I know Matt obviously didn't catch the whole thing. Darius, I don't know if you were able to watch every minute of it.
I watched the first and the third periods.
But I have to say, this was just because for me, like, school has been really busy this year. I haven't been able to like really sit down and watch the Leafs games. Usually I have like the Leafs game on one screen. I'm doing my homework on the other screen, so that's just how it goes. But yesterday, for some reason, I really got up for this game against the Devils because I wanted them to win. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit down for 3 hours and watch the entire game. And one of the best hockey games I've ever watched in my life, dude. So funny. So many storylines. So much tension and pressure. And the main storyline coming from this game is you would think it would be the Devils lost their 13-game win streak, but no, the storyline was the Devils scored 3 goals, or they scored 4 goals, and 3 of them didn't count. So the Leafs end up winning 2-1. Now, for me, I thought this game was especially hilarious because genuinely, I don't think any of their callback goals should have counted, which is why to me it was so hilarious. I'm like, yeah, I mean, all 3 of them shouldn't have counted. So can I really, like, it was just hilarious. And like, they're getting mad over like the Tatar play when he ran over Matt Murray not counting. I'm like, bro, he trucked the goalie. Of course it's not going to count. And deflects off his foot. Bastion was like a storyline going into this game, dude. That guy is a 4th liner. It's
that whole 4th line.
It's insane. And like, I don't know. That game was a lot of fun. Leafs get the win. Matt Murray, dude. Wow. Darius, thoughts on Matt Murray?
Last week I was like, for lack of a better term, I don't know about this guy. But dude, he looks good. But I think it's okay to be skeptical because everything we've seen the last 5 years is like meh. So, yeah. But he's looked great. He has like what, a 947 in 4 games.
Since returning from injury, he's been insane.
He looks really good. Can he keep it up? We'll see. I think they should try and do the load management thing with him as best as they can, just because you don't want him to go out again before Samsonov comes back, or Samsonov. I don't know which one they're going with. But he's looked really good, really solid. Last night was an amazing game. I think the last 10 minutes probably was like playoffs. Like, guys blocking shots, guys are hitting each other. The speed, the Devils are fast. Like,
Yep.
Jack Hughes would pick up the puck like at his
Zoom.
own hash marks, and I'm like, he's in the zone already. Like, insane. They're so fast. The whole team is firing. The Devils are awesome. Their fourth line is like, that's what you want a team to be. Like, they're so good. They all have their roles. But the Leafs came out with the win. And I think it was funny. I think if the third disallowed goal was the Bastian one, then I could see them getting really frustrated and throwing stuff on the ice, which, by the way, don't do. And if you do, you're a loser. But the third one, like, he kicked it in the net. So I was just, like, laughing the whole time because I'm like, there's no way it's going to count. And then they were just, like, throwing stuff and booing. And I'm like, he kicked it in the net. Like, this has always been not a goal. So
Yeah, you can't kick the puck into the net.
Honestly, it was hilarious because it's, like, 3 called back, but they're all, like, totally legit calls. So, like,
that's what I was saying. That's why I found it so, like, I wouldn't have found it as funny if they were, like, controversial, like, maybe lean one way, maybe lean the other. But, like, all 3 goals, I'm like, yeah, there's no gray area here. They all shouldn't count.
Yeah, second one, Murray gets bodied. And then
the first one, Bastian's foot is, like, all in the blue paint.
Yeah,
and trips him up. So what can you do?
The first one, if any of them, was probably the least.
Yes, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? But, like, the last one, like, he kicked it right in the net. I was like, even when it happened, I was like, you could see that he, like, scooped it with his leg. Before the replay, I'm like, it's not even gonna count. I was laughing, but yeah. Anyway, that's a good team, but the Leafs came out with the dub, so it was nice to see.
Can't be too mad. And honestly, the Leafs didn't even play their best game, not even close, because after they scored that second goal, 90% of that game was in the Leafs zone. But it was a lot of fun to see, like the Tavares. There was a unit when they were running, like, Tavares, Marner, Robertson, Sandin, and Liljegren. Like, whenever those 5 were on the ice, it was like Globetrotter stuff. Like, they were killing him. Sandin had a game. That guy had a game.
Yes, coming out party kind of shut up people, I think, for the year. Not for the year, but so far.
And I think he looks really good on Power Play 1. I've been saying this since the Canadian Division season. Sandin should be on Power Play 1.
Riley is, like, I think that's wasted minutes for Riley. Like, honestly, like, I don't think he adds. Sandin should be on PP1. And I think before we go any further, like, not enough people are talking about Liljegren. This guy is
an
NHL defenseman.
He's a gamer.
Yeah, like, he has turned into exactly what they needed and they thought he was going to be. And I think, like, he's 21,
22? He's like early 20s.
Yeah, he has lots of room to grow. And that's the whole thing about this Leafs team. They're all still pretty young. I think we forget that sometimes, right? Like, Ovi only won his first cup at, like, 33 or something. So, like, anyway. Liljegren, but Liljegren has turned into a player. He is awesome.
Yep, and Giordano, hat tips to him. Amazing game as well.
Honestly.
I think he had the most ice time, and the guy's like 40. So
I don't know if people talk about his contract either. He took a pay cut, and they're like, oh, he's old. He's still a really good player. He won the Norris 4 years ago. So
exactly.
He's still a really good player.
He had that nice shorthanded goal against Buffalo, too. Because it was the one that...
Right, he did.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah,
he did. That goal was like... That was interesting. I don't know what to say.
It definitely should have counted because it was a continuous play, but I feel like that's a big debate. But, like, the puck was there, so.
Yeah, to put a ball on this, Leafs win. They play tomorrow against Minnesota at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Matinee game. Should be a lot of fun. And Jordy Ben also got injured yesterday, which brings me to the Leafs also made a trade before the game started. A lot of people might have forgotten about this because Team Canada was playing in the FIFA World Cup. So that was a thing that was really clouding
I feel like
social media.
The Canada game started and then the Leafs made a trade and everyone was like, the Leafs made a trade, and I'm like, are you serious? Like, Canada's in the World Cup right now.
But the Leafs got Conor Timmins from the Arizona Coyotes in exchange for 6'9" forward Curtis Douglas. Curtis Douglas, I believe he had 1 assist in 13 AHL games. So do what you will with that information. But Conor Timmins, a lot of potential that maybe hasn't been reached yet. In his healthy seasons with Colorado, he was very good. And anytime he's been healthy, he's been a damn good player. But he just hasn't been healthy. And Arizona was going to waive him. They knew he was going to get claimed, so they swung a deal with the Leafs. Curtis Douglas was never going to make the team, especially with Pontus Holmberg playing as well as he has. So, little deal for the Leafs. They get defensive depth. We'll see when he actually draws in. He was the 7th defenseman at practice today during line rushes. So we'll see what happens there. But honestly, I was really excited when I saw the Leafs got Conor Timmins. I was like, wait a minute, this guy's sick. And I was like, oh, he was drafted in 2017.
Yeah.
So it was a long time ago, but I'm still looking forward to. I always just like when teams make transactions. It's always just a lot of fun to see a guy in a new jersey, see how he plays. So it'll be interesting. And then who the Leafs play tomorrow, the Wild, they swung a deal for Ryan Reaves, which was interesting. I don't know how people keep giving assets up for Ryan Reaves, but he is kind of like
I think he adds something to the team.
He's a unicorn. He's a unicorn in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know. Matt, why do you think people keep trading for this guy?
I just want to know, on the Wild, I just want to know who keeps getting bullied that much for let's get Ryan Reaves, because they have Marcus Foligno. Like, you have Foligno. Why do you need Ryan Reaves?
I mean,
for a fifth, like,
yeah,
they're
for a
not a seventh, like
yeah. And like the Wild's defensemen they aren't slouches either. Like Brodin and Dumba, like those are like Jared Spurgeon. Those are like dudes,
Spurgeon is kind of like a smaller player, but he, like, if you watch the playoffs, like, he's a tough guy. Like, he's a smaller guy, but he's a tough player, right? So that's a weird trade. He definitely adds toughness. I think he adds something to the morale of teams. I think he just wasn't playing enough in New York, and he wanted to play. So
he wanted to go to somewhere that would give him minutes.
Yeah, and I
think the Rangers wouldn't. I
think Minnesota, like, you look at some of their top end guys, they're smaller guys too. Not saying that they're not tough, but they're smaller guys. So you add Reaves for like a playoff run. Maybe that's what they're missing.
I mean, if they make the playoffs, I'm pretty sure they're 500 right now. So we'll see.
Well,
they're just paying him to skate out there. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, doing cardio.
It's so funny because the Leafs line rushes had Robertson out again and Cal Yarncroke on the second line, but they had Wayne Simmons drawing in. So do what you will with that.
Didn't he just get sent down yesterday? Like, what's going on with?
He got placed on. So you know how like you can place someone on waivers, and if they clear, you have 30 days where they can just go up and down without needing waivers. So they just put him on waivers again so they can continue that. And
that's right. That's right.
But he's gonna play tomorrow because I guess they're scared of Ryan Reaves. I don't know. I don't think it's worthy of changing your whole lineup, but that's just me. So yeah, at least get the afternoon game. But
we should also mention that with the trade for the Leafs, they have to trade somebody now when Riley comes back. So that should be interesting to look out for. Unless somebody gets hurt, another person gets hurt. But they have to make a trade when Riley comes back. They're 1.12 over the cap or something like that. So when he comes back.
Even with Muzzin still on LTIR?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what I saw that. I don't know how accurate it is, but that's something that I saw that they're probably going to have to do something. And
Alex Kerfoot, you are a Blackhawk. You are a Blackhawk.
Did you see that tweet? I wish I remember who it was from, but they like posted Kerfoot's stat line this year, and they're like, this guy's just out here doing cardio.
He has like 7 points.
Yeah, and they're all assists.
Yeah, like second. I don't know. The guy doesn't really. The guy doesn't. Hey, Matt, you guys need secondary scoring over there? He doesn't do much of it, but
we've already got a bunch of those.
We'll get into that. But I do want to talk about one specific player who I thought was going to have an spectacular season, and he is center for the Vegas Golden Knights. Jack Eichel is on a tear this year, man. I think a lot of people doubted him after he was injured last year. He came back, new team. All of Vegas was injured last year, and this year he slotted in with a guy like Mark Stone, having a good season. 26 points in 21 games, 11 goals, 15 apples. He's just been electric this year. All his fancy stats also look amazing. Just been insane.
Really good.
I don't know. I think Eichel was always this good. I've always been I have a Buffalo Sabres Jack Eichel jersey. I was a pretty big fan of his.
Number 15 or 9?
Number 15.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, I just want to say that like the night Vegas looks good, Jack Eichel looks good, and I think that trade is warranted easily. I mean, you still look at like Alex Tuck and Peyton Krebs like cool, but it's not Jack Eichel.
No, I think the whole thing was like, if he's not the same after the neck surgery, then okay, maybe it's a garbage trade for Vegas, right? But it's like if he is the same or even close, He's Jack Eichel.
Yeah.
It does not matter who you give up to him.
People forgot how good Jack Eichel is.
They did.
It's because he was surrounded by garbage in Buffalo, even though he had like Skinner and did he ever play with Hall for a few games?
No, he was hurt, right? Wasn't he that year?
He might have in the
like
beginning
a
of
few
that
games.
season. Yeah, the beginning of that season, maybe.
But still, who else did he have? Nobody. It was just
Yeah.
his attitude quickly shifted in Buffalo, and you could tell he didn't want to be there. But in a positive environment with Vegas, you can see how it translates onto the ice in his play.
It's all the negativity that was in Buffalo because they're like, oh, they're not winning, but it's like you're not putting anything around Eichel, right? So now it's different in Buffalo. I think the expectations are lower. That's why it seems a little bit better. But now that he's on a good team in Vegas, I mean, Vegas is sick too. Like, forget Eichel. The rest of the team is awesome.
They're just. I love the way they play, and I love a lot of their players. You can say what you want about their executives and like how they treat their players. They just trade whoever, whenever. Which personally, I'm low key a fan of doing that. Like I think if you're trying to get better, your relationships matter.
It's a business.
But it's a business. You need to win. And when they trade Max Pacioretty for nothing because he makes too much money or he's injury prone. They trade Dadonov for nothing because he makes too much money and he's not playing up to that standard. They trade Fleury for nothing because he makes too much money. They have Robin Leonard. So I have no problem with them doing that. Obviously, it's a little bit unethical, but any business that makes a lot of money, they're probably not very ethical. So that's just that. But yeah, Logan Thompson been absolutely insane. I think Petrangelo's playing really good.
Yep.
Shea Theodore is playing really good. So yeah, Vegas, man, they're a wagon again. They're a wagon again. They took a year off, but they're back and they are a wagon once again. Another thing, just to move on here, the Anaheim Ducks, another Western Conference team. Not as good as Vegas, as unfortunate as it is. I think no one had expectations for them going into this year, but I didn't expect it to be this bad where they just got their first regulation win over the past week. They have a lot of fun players. John Gibson, Trevor Zegras, Jamie Drysdale. John Klingberg is having a horrid season there. He is not playing very good.
It's a good thing he bet on himself.
His fancies are awful. But Matt, I don't know if you're keeping up with the Ducks a little more because you're a Western Conference guy, but what have you seen from them?
I couldn't expect any less from a Dallas Eakins coach team from prior experiences. No comment. That's all I have to say. if you need a guy to lead a team to,
first
success,
overall pick.
yeah. He's not the guy.
They want Bedard. Man.
I knew the Ducks were like not going to be great, but this is sad. And also, it doesn't help that the NHL's arguably most marketable star is on the worst team possible. So,
I think that's a reason them being so bad has been downplayed is because Trevor Zegras is on the team and he's an entertaining player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he's done another Michigan this year. It was called back, but they're like, ooh, look at Michigan. It's like, yeah, they lost 6-1 that game. But, yeah.
Like, their roster, it's not the worst I've ever seen.
No, on paper, they should be better.
On paper, yeah, because, Fowler, Henrique, Klingberg, a very old Kevin Shattenkirk. Like, you have the leadership, you have the vets, you just don't have the results.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the leadership, you have the vets who are not good. So I think that's the
important part.
Get John Gibson out of there, man. Help this man. Get this man some help.
I think Anaheim is living by the philosophy of if you have a good goalie, keep him as long as you can because having a consistently good goalie in the NHL is nearly impossible. As Matt has learned with Mr. Campbell. So I think some
Zing.
So I think, yeah, man, it's just a lot of stuff has been going on with the Western Conference lately. Nikolai Ehlers just got hernia surgery. He's gonna be out. I think 6 weeks. The Jets are a low key wagon this year. Yeah. They've been really good even without Nikolai Ehlers. Connor Hellebuck is returning to form, literally saving goddamn everything. So
if they make the playoffs, like, could he win the Vezina? Could you see that happening? Like,
oh, for sure.
He's been
absolutely.
He's been that good. And did anyone pick them to make the playoffs?
The Jets, I think I had them as like a fringe team, but not making it.
Yeah.
Not making it.
Not making it. See, like, but they've been good. Like they've been
damn good.
All right, yeah.
Except for the fact they almost blew a. Oh no, they did blow
They
a
did
3-0
blow it,
lead.
but they won the
Still
game.
won.
Yeah.
Still won, but still.
Josh Morrissey, by the way, nobody's even talking about this guy either, and yet I think he's a point-a-game player. And he
Josh
scored,
Morrissey?
Yeah, and he scored in overtime the other night too. And I think he's at least close to a point a game. He was point a game. He was their leading point getter too.
Oh yeah, he is over point per game.
Yeah.
19 points in 18 games.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's a good player. He's coming to form.
It's also the bonus philosophy too, because I think before the season he said he wanted to get more scoring out of the defensemen, as prior to like the Maurice years where it was mostly just play defense.
Yeah, I gotta save. But yeah. Now Maurice is in what, Florida?
Florida, yeah.
Well,
I think
great.
they actually are doing not bad, but they also have a lot of really good players in Florida. Matthew Tkachuk has been perfect there. Although I do think he'll be perfect anywhere he plays. But I do want to talk about the guy, the panel that we all love. I think it was the Sportsnet panel. Going back to the Devils, I know we're kind of going back and forth. Keith Yandel said the Devils don't play in a way where they'll make the playoffs while they run a 13-game win streak. I just personally thought that was kind of funny. Like, come on, man. They're winning, and like it's not like a Philadelphia Flyers or like Buffalo Sabres 10-game winning streak where like they're winning like shootouts or overtime by like one goal, but like they're barely hanging on to 1-goal games at the end. It's just like these are like legitimate good hockey wins to put it in layman's terms, but I think the Devils are good, and I just don't like. One thing I don't like as a hardcore hockey fan is when the panel just says like egregious things, because like I feel like
for attention, yeah,
and I feel like if you're a casual fan, you take those opinions at face value, because like, oh, I'm watching the panel of, like, for example, when I watch basketball panels or something, and like on TSN with the Raptors, like I couldn't really tell you a bad take from a good take as much as I could in hockey, just because I know hockey more. So like I'm like looking to these guys for actual educational takes on basketball.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm watching Sportsnet or these broadcast companies, I'm like, dude, the people who are watching this that are trying to get into hockey, you're feeding them bad information. Like this is not what they should be learning. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, Austin Matthews scores 50 goals, but he doesn't hit enough. I'm like, the guy scores 50 goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, on top of it, Yandel, because I watched that live, this point that you're bringing up. And he literally, Matt, I don't know if you watched the clip, but he's like, they're not going to make the playoffs. And then I think it was Anthony Stewart, maybe? He was like, why? And he goes, just cuz. And that was it. Like, that was literally his reasoning. He's like, because. I'm
Keith Yandel, and I don't think so.
Yeah. I was like,
I played the game.
If you don't think, yeah, exactly. If you don't think, like, he has something against the Devils for sure, but if you don't think they're going to make the playoffs, like, tell me why, and then at least I could, like, break it down in my head and be like, well, he made some good points. Maybe they won't make the playoffs. For me, like you said, it's like, it's not a Buffalo 10-game winning streak where it's like, how could they sustain this? Like, they're not going to. It's like, no, the Devils are actually a pretty good team. They'll make the playoffs. But, like, no, they will not make the playoffs because I said so. Done.
See, and there's a difference between broadcasts where I'm more of a fan of teaching like casual or even like hardcore fans about things that are new or have been in the game for a long time, because there was the Seattle broadcast the other night where they were playing the Kraken were playing the Kings, and the commentators, like everybody involved, sort of taught the audience at home about the Kings playing the 1-3-1 trap. And it's so much better to listen to when it's discussion about new knowledge of the game rather than just regurgitating awful takes.
It's like a couple weeks ago when they were like imagine you've never watched hockey before, or you're just like slowly getting into it. You watched a few games and you tune into your 4th or 5th game or something, and at the intermission they're talking about Austin Matthews' stick wrap and the fact that he scored 60 goals last year and he's not fighting this year. You know what the next sound is? Click. The person's remote clicking back to TNT so they can watch the 76ers play the Nets.
Yeah.
Like, that's what happens. I can't believe Austin Matthews scored 60 goals last year and he's not fighting. Okay. I want to see him score goals. Yeah.
The worst for that is who is it on the TNT panel? Bissonnette. It's like, buddy, we do not care. Like, if you're putting your own personal opinion on the game that you've never played at a very, very high level
Hey,
compared to some
Busy got some NHL games in. Come
He
on.
played in the NHL, but he never played
Some-
like in the
But-
Stanley Cup.
it's so
Final,
funny on
like-
that.
Hey,
it's
Norton
funny
Matthews.
Well,
on that TNT. Sorry, on that TNT panel, you have like Gretzky and Bissonnette. That's like having like MJ.
That's what I love
and-
about it, though. That's what I love about it, though. It's
It's
so
like having
funny.
MJ and like Brian Scalabrine. It's like complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
That's
No,
what I
but
love
the
about it.
thing-
It's so funny. It's so funny.
The thing is, they bring on guys like Bissonnette. I don't have a problem with Bissonnette, but like they bring on guys like that because they have a personality. But it's like I don't know if they really bring like their opinions on the game might not be right to be, you know.
No.
Showcasing
It's
to
more
newer
personal.
fans. I don't know.
It's more personal opinions on the game rather than
Yes.
like a practical opinion.
Yes, which I think like Shaq and Chuck and all those guys do, right? But the difference is Shaq has won like 4 championships, right? Like,
But Shaq will also be like, this guy stinks. Like, he won't, like, on, like, an NHL panel. Like, this is how it works. Like, imagine, like, it would literally just be, like, 3 hours of me being like, oh, so what do you guys think of Austin Matthews? Darius would answer, Matt would answer. Then I'd ask you guys the next question.
Yeah.
You two would answer. Then I'd ask the next question. It's not, like, conversational. And, like, I love when Shaq is just not afraid to be like, dude, this Rudy Gobert guy, he just stinks. Like, he's not good. Like, that is so funny.
I think there's
That's
too many
so
like
funny to me.
friendships in hockey too, right? So like some of the panel might not want to say something about their buddy, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like you said in the halftime shows, Shaq's like, this guy stinks, and then like Chuck's like, what? And then they get into it, right?
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's, you know, it's entertaining, and at least they can have a conversation about it on either side. But hockey sometimes, I think the basketball intermissions, they're themselves, and it's fun and it's entertaining. And hockey
Yes.
now has realized that they're boring, and they're just trying to be like the basketball intermissions instead of just being themselves, but more entertaining. That's the problem.
It's why hockey culture is so boring. It's like
It really is.
zero personalities and regurgitating awful takes that you don't want to listen to, but they'll still get attention, and that's the part that bothers me. We're on Twitter, I'll read something. Oh, such and such said this. Who cares? Why are you giving attention to them? They know what they're trying to do, and they're perfectly executing it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't know how we got into that conversation, but I think it was a good one. But
Yeah.
I do want to quickly touch on give a little congratulations to Evgeni Malkin, who played his 1,000th game. Mal-1kin, congratulations to him. Actually, it wouldn't even
No, it'd be
Mal-1kin,
like
Ma-1kin.
Boy, that sounded awful.
Yeah, it wasn't very
I wasn't gonna try that at all. Yeah.
It's like when
Like
it's like
text
when
to speech.
the Blackhawks did D1K. It was just dick.
Dick.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
come on,
Duncan.
bro.
Congrats.
Yeah, but like
I can't insult that because I have a Draisaitl shirt that has like Leon, but it's like
that is so corny.
L50N.
That is
it looked,
so corny,
It looked
bro.
cool. It looked cool.
I know. Do you wear that in public? I hope not.
Probably not.
You see in public.
What is the definition of public?
Bro, if I saw someone in public with like an L50 on like end shirt, I think I would punch them in the head. Like I'm like, come on, bro. You gotta be better. You gotta contribute to society.
Well,
in a
there's only
different
one
way.
person who owns one, and we
Yeah,
know
note
him.
to self: I'm gonna wear that when I meet Nick.
Yeah.
We're just right in the back of the head. Right in the back of the head.
Did you guys see how that game ended? The Malkin's 1,000th game ended. Did you see the ending of it?
They won, right? I know
They won, but
right?
Malkin scored the shootout winner.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was really
Sometimes stuff just works in
The
mysterious
NHL
ways.
is rigged. That's what I'm gonna say about it.
cool. That's right.
Honestly, it's because the headquarters, the video headquarters is in it's in Toronto.
Yep.
So,
Oh, they beat the Flames. Okay, I'm not so angry about it now.
but yeah, congratulations to Gino. One of the more electrifying players in the past 15 years now.
Nothing will beat that like slapper, like right at the low slot against the Flyers in the playoffs. There, that guy was a rock star. Are you kidding me?
He
He got hit so hard. If you watch the play, he gets smoked from behind. Should have been a penalty. And then he just gets up and he's like, I'm gonna put this through this guy. Like
so good,
Yeah.
so good player. Congratulations to him. It's cool to see like the players that I grew up watching are hitting 1,000 games now. Like before, it was just like a bunch of old guys that I didn't care about hitting 1,000 games. But now it's like Malkin's hitting 1,000 games. Like I watched this guy my entirety of being a hockey fan.
Simmons.
So it's pretty cool. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool for sure.
Oh, also, we forgot to mention Marian Hossa somehow got his number retired
Oh yeah, in Chicago.
in Chicago. Yeah,
When did
that
that
guy
happen?
that guy
3 days ago.
chased a ring and managed to get his number retired for it.
Hey, I respect it.
I respect it
Personally,
because he got
I
3
respect
out of it. He got 3
I
out
respect
of
it.
it. Also, like the way it happened, he lost like back to back switching teams. Like
That is so hilarious.
which
That
is so funny to
hilarious.
me. It always was funny to me even back then. I was like, this is hilarious because he swapped teams and then the other team won.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I guess congratulations to Marian Hossa because I guess he's still dealing with that equipment allergy.
Yeah, the allergy.
So the guy randomly got allergic to the
Pray for
equipment
him.
he's worn.
Guy was in the league for 20 years and then he developed an allergy somehow.
That's why some
Yep.
of these guys they wear the same like underclothes their whole career because you never know when you're gonna get an
Yeah.
allergy because
Yep,
you're making too
because
much.
that's not
You never know when you're gonna run into cap problems and you need to come up with something quick.
Hey, let's be nice. You didn't have to say it. Let's
He
be
bought new
nice.
shin pads. He's getting rashes. He's getting
These
rashes.
You're
new-
not wrong, but
You didn't have to say
They
it.
really came up with that, eh? They were like, he has a skin allergy now. Like, literally anything else. You could have been like,
And
nah,
then- and
not-
then-
like,
and they're like, we can prove it, and the NHL's like, no, we believe you.
no,
we
we're
believe
good.
you.
We're good.
Y'all got this. Y'all got this. So last thing I do want to touch on we haven't given Matt much of the spotlight today. Well, this is another.
Do I want the spotlight?
Hold on. This might become a weekly segment because last week we did the exact same thing and the Oilers have continued to be bad. So Matt, talk about them.
As you can see in my background again, for those watching the video podcast, I didn't really need to change it because that's how I'm feeling. And I don't even want to say we got Goldie last night because it was a 49 save for Ilya Sorokin. But any goalie can get that type of performance. Can't talk today for some reason. That's how bad the Oilers are. When you just shoot it right into the crest. It's ridiculous. That game against the Knights on Saturday where they won 4-3 in overtime, that was almost an outlier. Well, you'll get that type of performance like once every 5 games with the way we're playing right now. Can't play defense. Secondary scoring isn't there. The game against the Devils wasn't really Skinner's fault except for the second goal when he gave it right to what was it? Hischier? I don't know. I don't really care. We still lost that game. But it's year 8 and year 9 of McDavid and Draisaitl.
That is so gross when you say that. That sounds so gross.
It's just you shouldn't have to go back to the drawing board every single season since they become Oilers. And that's what they've done so far. Last year, they went to the drawing board, fired Tippett, hired Jay Woodcroft, and had some success. And then somehow over the summer, I don't know what happened. There was so much hype, and the same thing happened after the Oilers lost to the Ducks in 7 games in 2017. Okay, experience. Take that into next season, and they missed the playoffs. So it's not looking too bleak. Got to make a few moves. Don't know how because Ken Holland is Ken Holland, and I'm more than sick of him. But something needs to happen.
Can I just chime in with the?
I should have taken him out when I had the chance. To be honest with you, fellas.
Whoa!
Kidding. Partially, but kidding.
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
This is.
Got to put up a disclaimer here.
Can I just say that I feel like Ken Holland missed out in free agency last year, so I feel like he just went out and signed Jack Campbell because he had to. Like he just
and that's what I said too because he felt the pressure on him because he missed it,
and like also his own ego. I think right, like
yeah.
But now what?
It's like he should just go back to selling vacuums door to door.
But
What?
Ridiculous. Yeah, no, that was his job.
That was the
Yeah, he was a door to door vacuum salesman.
Just like Arbor Jack guy worked at Costco.
Costco.
go.
Which, dude, that's such a big storyline. There was no OHL season that year. He was undrafted, so he went to work at Costco. Why are we making a big deal?
What was he gonna
about
do?
this?
Stay at home?
Yeah,
unemployed?
like
Who would
he
do
played
that?
home and
Who
he
would do
stayed
that?
home and played FIFA. Like
who would do that? Who would stay at home and play FIFA? You know, I can't
I don't
think of
know.
anybody.
No.
I can't think of a single person.
Wouldn't be me.
But
But like Darius said, and I think I said this a few episodes too, but Holland felt the pressure. He missed out on Markstrom, missed out on Kemper. Okay, I'll take the bridesmaid here, and he signed Jack Campbell.
Let's just go out and sign Jack Campbell.
I still can't believe he didn't. I still can't believe he didn't get like a bridge the gap goalie for Stuart Skinner. That is a.
And I would have preferred like a Jake Allen or James Reimer. I would have preferred those two, because it's not like you break the bank for them. There'll be a serviceable backup or starter until Skinner takes the reins, and then you saddle yourself with a 5x5 Campbell contract. And where at the beginning, I was like, okay, Campbell, cool, until I realized, you need a good defense in front of him. And if you have a Swiss cheese defense, he's just gonna have too much pressure on him every single night. And he also needs a new glove hand.
I love the guy in Toronto, but the Leafs won in spite of him every night. Like he was never. I don't think they won a game because of him ever.
Except for November, then
last November, where he won every single game. But anyway,
it was
yeah.
And for a goalie, his mental game is whacked. Like if I'm like in the Oilers dressing room and I hear that a goalie calls himself pathetic, then you don't really have that much confidence next time you play in front of him, because he just thinks he's not all.
I think you talked about that last episode. Yeah. It's crazy.
The way you play in front of different goalies, like you can tell teams, if they're playing in front of a rookie goalie, they're gonna play a more tight defensive style and kind of like get back for him more, because they don't trust him, or maybe they want to get him a win. So it affects them big time. Like when he was with the Leafs, after a game, remember there was one game like he almost cried, like in the post-game press conference. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, it's my fault, all this. I've been bad. I'm pathetic." Like, you can't talk like that, and then everyone hears that, and then it's like, you're the goalie.
Especially in that environment too. Like the Toronto media, they're not going to feel bad for you.
Even Edmonton, anywhere in Canada, don't,
because you just created headlines for yourself that just bring more pressure on you. It's like, goalie doesn't think he's that good. No. In a Canadian market, you can get away with that in, I don't know, Nashville, but you can't get away with that in Canada at all.
No. Yep. Don't let him know that you're bleeding. And he does all the time. And it's not even that. Like, believe in yourself. Just be like, okay, I had a shitty game. Next game, let's get back on the horse.
Yeah, I agree with you.
For the Oilers, but now you're in a cycle. I think the Oilers, are they 10-10 this year?
10-10.
Yeah, and it's like McDavid and Draisaitl once again on pace for record-breaking seasons. They've combined for like 65 points or whatever, the two of them, and the Oilers are still bad. They're still bad. This happens every year.
Yeah, for the forwards, you can sort of cut slack for Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, Nuge. End of list. Well, Kane, but I
think Evander Kane is a big loss for them. So
very big loss. But
it's still not a mulligan.
Yeah. But with the loss of Kane, I think we brought Janmark and Costin. Costin's been really good, but not enough of a spark for that secondary scoring.
Of course, yeah.
But... And that's what they need, and they also need to stop relying on the defense to play better than they think they are. Like, Nurse, I love the guy, but he is not a true number one defenseman, despite getting true number one defenseman money.
Yep.
Yeah. And then CC, you ask way too much of him. Bouchard, it's baby steps. Like, I think he was a lot better last year, but he also had Keith on his left side, and with no Keith, sort of as much as I don't want to say, it sort of dwindles down. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. So it's just too many players on that team that are expected to do too much than they can handle.
For sure. But with that being said, we are going to go into our wrap section. So follow us on all our socials, TikTok. Follow our individual Twitters. Follow our individual Instagrams. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Give 5 stars if you like the show. But I do want to ask this question. Not a hockey related question, but Canada related question. So yesterday, Canada played in their first FIFA World Cup game since, what was it, 1986?
Yep. Yeah, 36 years.
Yep. So it's been a while. I personally, I don't really watch soccer. Like, I respect the game, as they say, but I don't really watch it. I don't find it too interesting. But I think it was a cool spectacle for the country. Darius, I know you're maybe our more resident soccer fan here. how exciting is this for you? And how exciting do you think it is for just the country to see them play?
Well, first of all, I think Matt is pretty well versed in soccer or football too, I would say. But yeah, I follow it very closely, along with the NBA too. But anyway, this is really exciting. Like, for those who didn't know or maybe don't pay attention to soccer but are going to tune in now, like in their game yesterday, Canada had more shots in the first half than they did the entire tournament in 1986. They still haven't scored a goal at the World Cup. But they will. They definitely will. I have faith in them. But they played really good. They play a fast, aggressive style, which I think can lead to some turnovers and maybe goals against. But I think it's exciting to watch. And I think there are a lot of people in this country who were not alive the last time they were in the World Cup to see this, right? So this is very exciting. They have they have Alphonso Davies, really fun player to watch. So everyone should get really excited. Enjoy the World Cup for what it is and Canada's time in it. Hopefully they make it out of the group stage, but we'll see. But yeah, it's exciting. Like, everyone should be up for this. They play fast, aggressive. Like, and Belgium was second ranked, and they pushed them to. They only won 1-0, and it was like one.
They should have won that game.
Goal. They should have won the game on paper. They had a penalty. Unfortunately, sometimes you don't score on penalties.
It's an early penalty too.
A very early penalty. They probably should have had 2 other ones, but that's the game. That's the way sports go sometimes. If you want to sit around and cry, you got to finish on all your chances. So they had a lot of chances. That's the thing. So they're fast and exciting to watch. So it's awesome to see them in the World Cup. Will they win? Will they even make it out of the group? I don't know, but enjoy their time in the World Cup.
Yeah, enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. I think, sometimes we try and look too far into the future. I feel like in a situation like this, you just gotta. It's like when like really bad teams in the World Juniors score a goal, and people are like, all they did was score, but I don't know, you gotta live in the moment, enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
And Matt, I don't know what you have to say for Canada being in the World Cup. How are you feeling about it?
Even with Belgium not having Lukaku, I mean, Canada showed the world that they belong there. 100%. Like, Belgium finished 3rd in the last World Cup. So to do that well, should have drew, should have won. But it was a very exciting time, and it's so fun seeing the whole country just come together. Not even for hockey, but just like for soccer, like a sport that's not as celebrated or as much attention as say hockey, because when Team Canada plays in the Olympics or World Juniors, everybody congregates. But it's so nice to see something different and everybody coming together.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's
I think the most exciting part of it all is they made this one and they look really good. Like, it shows that the program is on the right track. Like,
yeah,
they'll probably
they don't
be
look
in the mix.
slow at all.
They don't look slow. They look like they belong. They look like they should be winning and beating these teams. But now they're hosting or part hosting the next one, so they get in automatically. So now you have this momentum. You can start building to the next World Cup. Maybe Canada's in the next. Maybe they're consistently in the World Cup, and the team just gets better from there. And maybe Canada's a big country with a lot of people, so some of these European nations, they're not as big. So if you can get the national team rolling, you could be a top country in the next 50 years or whatnot, right? So it's exciting.
Yep.
I think if they can build a momentum starting with this, it's exciting.
And
I think,
fellas,
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Nick.
Let me just wrap this up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to say, one thing that I have noticed is this Canada team I think they're really young, right? All their best players are pretty young. So I think that's one of the most exciting things about them is they're gonna be good for a long time and fun for a long time. And Matt, what were you gonna say?
It's so nice to have a different experience watching the World Cup, because normally when the World Cup begins, school year's almost over, but a November World Cup, it sort of brings a different experience, because it's right in the middle of all the sports seasons, because you got the NFL, NHL, NBA, but it's so nice to see this take the world stage, overtaking everything. It's just it's cool having the World Cup a month before Christmas. It's such a weird experience that we'll probably only see once, unless it happens again, because I think Saudi Arabia is hosting it in 2030. But yeah, so it's a nice switch up from the June-July World Cup schedule.
For sure. And with that being said, I do want to say thank you all for watching. Thanks again for my fellow co-host for joining me here. it is very foggy downtown in Toronto here, and I don't know if the people watching have noticed. Obviously, I have a blurred background, but my face has like progressively gotten darker as the episode went along, because it's just gotten so dark here. But if you're watching this in the day, have a great day. If you're watching this at night, have a great night. And I always like to say, if you're driving while watching this, always drive safe. And with that being said, peace out and have a good one. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for watching and listening to the Gritcast. For more content, visit our YouTube channel and check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Don't forget to follow the guys on social media at Matt_Mondays, at Nick LaFlame, and at Darius Dominguez.